Hello, I'm Catlin, and welcome to Wet News Wednesday. We start today with the news that the Obama administration has teamed up with Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, and Qatar to execute airstrikes in Syria and Iraq against ISIS, obviously, and some people that we've never heard of, the Khorasan Group. Oh joy, the more the merrier. Everybody come out and party, right? So everything went pretty well. Obama now has to stand up for his actions to the UN, and also Congress is upset that they weren't allowed to vote on it. I get where you're coming from, man. I mean, we have checks and balances for a reason, and I completely think that you, technically should be involved. Except Congress, you've kind of become that annoying person at the party who's like sitting in the corner and talking to themselves, not really being involved in any kind of productive capacity. So, get it together and maybe we'll bring you back to the table. U.S. Senator Jim Furlow announced this week, "I'm gay. Get over it." Yes. Good for you, Jim. India's Mars orbiter successfully reached Mars' atmosphere this morning. With a $74 million price tag, it was a fraction of the cost of ours, and it was also $26 million cheaper than the budget of the movie Gravity. Really? That much to make her float? I don't believe you. After a female student was sexually assaulted last March, Wesleyan University has decided to make all residential fraternities co-ed, a decision which makes sense to no one. The Ebola virus continues to ravage Africa, and speculation is that by January, 1.4 million people will be infected with this virus. The Red Cross doesn't need blood, they need bleach! Do you hear me? Bleach! Clorox. Stop cleaning our overprivileged toilets, I'll use another cleaner, and get them some bleach, please! Now. Hello? Go! Shoot! President Obama is getting some grief today. He saluted some Marines while exiting his helicopter in New York with a cup of coffee in his hand. Some people saw this as disrespectful. The White House's official statement was, "It was pumpkin spice?" Professional soccer player Hope Solo stands accused of assaulting her half-sister and her teenage nephew. She hasn't been getting much coverage, and you know what? I think she should be getting the exact same negative backlash that the Petersons and the Rices and the everybody else's of the athletic world have been getting. Violence is unacceptable, and it doesn't matter the gender of either the perpetrator or the victim. So, you know what, guys? Sports in this country is a big business, and I think fans and stockholders alike need to ask players to sign a code of conduct, because I've been talking a lot about sports lately, and it hasn't been about scores. Can we please get back to watching them in our normal, drunken yet peaceful state? Please. 3 Afghani National Army members are missing in Massachusetts. They were there for a training and were given a little break to go to a shopping mall. Not 2 weeks in this country, and they've already learned that fucking around at Brookstone is a lot more fun than work. Good job, guys. This week alone, over 130,000 refugees have fled Iraq and Syria, trying to get away from our good old friends ISIS. The majority of these people are taking refuge in Turkey, and I don't think I'm alone in saying that I think Tim Rice really needs to start orchestrating a soundtrack for these people. Keep the spirits up, musical accompaniment. I don't want to say everybody wins, but at least everybody feels better. National manhunt is underway for Matthew Freen, who stands accused of shooting 2 Pennsylvania policemen. It's come to light that Maddie over there belonged to some kind of Cold War era conflict reenactment group, which is one of those hobbies that parents are never excited to hear about. No volleyball, urban farming. I mean, come on, I would rather hang out with somebody who collects bugs than does Cold War battle reenactments. And I hate bugs. Like, I feel like it's on me. Is it on me? There were 2 security breaches at the White House this week. But, no big deal. We're living in a peaceful, some might say boring world right now. I'm sure it was fine. Representative Peter King has called for a full-scale investigation, and I'd like to point out to everyone he was wearing a dark suit, so we do know that he was serious. Actress Emma Watson addressed the UN this week and gave a moving and poignant speech on the subject of gender equality. She urged us to remember that feminist is not a bad word, and gender equality affects us all. She formally invited men to the conversation and reminded us that gender should be seen as a spectrum, and not just in the little blue and pink boxes we like to put it in. Following her speech, Emma has been receiving sexual threats from 4chan, who's responsible for the nude celebrity photo leak. That's that special kind of misogyny that comes from deep, dark basements where mediocrity and small penises grow. 4chan, take your moment in the sun, your nice little 15 minutes of fame, because you know what? We're not going to remember you. You know who we're going to remember? Hermione fucking Granger, you dick. In the light of recent terrorist activity, the State Department has asked us to stay vigilant and be on the lookout for lone wolf attacks. Guys, it's getting bad. They're saying that they can fit it inside those little airplane bottles, and they're looking for ways to put explosives in clothes. So when we all have to inevitably end up flying completely naked and with no personal belongings, I'd like to be the person who invented the self-cleaning airplane seat. So if anybody wants to team up with me on that, I'm taking applications for business partners. Thanks for spending another Wednesday with me. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can hear about all of our video updates. And stay classy.